Start the preview. Okay, there we go. Okay, hi everyone, also on YouTube. So I'll be with you in a moment. This is Christian SWFL with a completely new setup, a new studio, and we've got something exciting. This program is all about. Oh, hang on, I've got my. I just have to do some adjustments here because I can hear myself, which is not good. Okay, hi everyone, also on YouTube. So I'll be with you in a moment. This is Christian SWFL with a completely new setup, a new studio. Okay, hang on. And we've got something exciting. This program is all about. Oh, hang on, I've got my. I just have to do some adjustments here. For some reason, I still have feedback. I'm not sure. Just hang on, hang on. Everyone also on YouTube. So 1 second. In a moment. This is Christian SWFL. Oh dear. Okay, hang on. And we've got. Okay, I just have to see if I can get rid of the feedback, so just bear with me 1 second and I'll be right with you. This is always a technical challenge. Anyway, so here I am. Let's hope it'll be okay now. I have to listen very carefully and make sure, and I have to watch your comments at the same time. So this is Christian SWFL, and we've got a completely new studio. As you can see, I've got a more casual setup with all its dangers and its hazards, as you've just realized, because it also means that I have more possibilities for feedback, and hopefully this will not happen. But it's a more casual thing. It's supposed to be much more intimate. It's supposed to be much more with you. And hopefully I can convey this atmosphere here. So you can see I got a small table here now. I got a very nice studio, and I'm really excited about it. So again, lots of work this week in organizing this. And the technology is moving away, which is exactly the way a studio should work, where I can talk to you directly into the camera. And I just have to see if you can hear me. Very nice studio, so I guess you can all hear me. I can see lots of you there. So I just wanted to say hello to everyone. And also hello on Facebook. Hello to Mark, Sharon, got Susan, Pascal. Pascal, we will talk about your lovely smaller nest in a moment. SoCal Eagle, Beach Girl, Tom Sawyer, hello. Lady Hawk, very nice camera, the Asteroid Dragon, Irene, and so on. Karen, oh, Murphy, Amoroso, very nice to have you. Mac Lady, Amanda Rupp, very nice. Margot Mo, and I hear some names I've not heard before. Renee, in a bit, yes, I know about you. Quiet Eagle, yes, you are from Smola. I know, I just saw your name there. So that's really great to have so many. Pacific Northwest, Kate, hi, someone here also from our area. That's beautiful. That's great. So I'm all excited. Anyway, so let's get going. I just have to see what happened to my Facebook friends. So just give me a second because I lost them. So hang on. I just need to be sure that I can also see them and respond. Just give me a moment and then we will get going. Let's see where they are. Okay, where are my Facebook friends? Where are you? There you are. There you are. Now I can see you. Okay, very good. Let me just click this.
Hang on.
Okay.
I just need to be sure that I
Okay, there we go. That's fine, that's quiet. Now, hi Lucia on Facebook, Betty Teller and Kathleen, very nice to see you all. So welcome to the show. Melanie and Edna is there from Brazil, Cindy, Kim, Dolores, Guy, very nice to have Guy here. By the way, he helped make the studio the way it is. The, the background that you see here is perfect. So let me just talk a little bit about technology here for 1 second, because I got a side view too. You can see the side view. That's the side view looking at a curtain which doesn't look green at all. It has a special type of material which is called reflect media, and a special type of lighting, and that makes it possible here, thanks to a guy from the DVE store who's given me incredible advice, also my friend Mark Horner, by the way, to make the studio the way it is. I'm excited. It's the first time now that I'm broadcasting like this in a real type of professional studio setup. So I'm excited. So let me jump back with the camera. You can see I can also have the possibility to zoom in properly, which is great. And the background blends in very nice, so I'm super excited to bring this to you. Now, enough tech talk, but you have to understand I really am excited, because this is the type of setup I was dreaming about, and now we have it, and it's all about eagles and wildlife and much more. And actually I need to put a second share here, because you are all going to be the ones who take part in this show. It's not myself anymore. I don't have a Rebecca here anymore. So I'm all by myself, yes, but that's also good, because there are so many eagle nests, so many eagle nests to look at. And I need your help. And here comes my quiz questions. I have 3 questions for you, and I need your help straight away. So this is the way I want the show to work. You're going to participate, and I have a lot of information about eagles and the updates. However, I'm missing some information, some vital information. And I want you to jump in, and you will be able to win some nice pictures if you help me. You can dial in. You see this very nice Albert Einstein eagle, or you can have this beautiful pair of eagles, or you can have this wonderful eagle in the water. These are all prize photos that went very far in competitions. So you can choose one of these beautiful images if you help me get the information right, okay? And here is what I would like you to do. So let me just make sure you're all still there and I don't miss something. 1 second. Yes, you're all still there. I can see that. So here's what I would like you to do to help me. Where are we now? What happened there? Wait, the background is supposed to be this. Now I have disappeared for some reason. Here we go. Okay, so I have 3 nests where I know absolutely 0 about. The one is Delton Holmes. Who can tell me something about Delton Holmes? I'm going to put in a phone number later, so you have time to prepare. I'm going to put in a phone number, okay, that phone number right on the top, and I want you to dial in later. Just remember the phone number and give me a 1 to 2 minute summary of what's going on at that nest. Delton Holmes, very interesting nest. I found it, know nothing about it, can't find much information in a short time. That's the first question. You can win something if you phone in, not now, but later. Next nest, Dollywood. Now, Dollywood in Iowa is a well-known nest. I don't know much about it, let's say 0. Again, I need your help to phone in later on that number, not yet, but when I say, so when we get there, tell me something about Dollywood. Again, you can win a very nice, you can really win something very nice. I'm just looking at my screen here, make sure I see all your comments. Okay, and the third nest, that's an interesting one. It's a peregrine falcon nest in Berkeley, California. That's a beautiful University of Berkeley, California, UBC. Also not like University of British Columbia, we also have UBC here. But I studied in Berkeley for half a year. I was an exchange student, lovely area. But I recognize there's a camera that they have right on top of the campus there. And it seems to be where peregrine falcons typically are, in high buildings. Who knows something about the nest in Berkeley and can tell us a little bit about it? So the information I'm looking for is how many chicks are there, how old is the nest, and so on. Typical, who are the parents, and so on. What do we know about the nest? So again, Delton Holmes, Dollywood, and the Berkeley peregrine falcon nest. Those three. And that'll be the number. Don't dial yet, please. I'm just going to blend the number out so you don't get confused. But anyway, so that's what I would like to happen, okay? So if any one of you know, and I'm going to look in, be in, Mac Lady, if you're in, or anybody, please, I'm going to give you some time to think about this, get your facts right if you know if you don't know them already, and then dial in later. That's going to be your part. I'm going to put a second share here, and you're going to participate. It's wonderful, isn't it? So it's really exciting today because, my goodness, so many things have happened, and we're going to start actually in Norway of all places. So let's jump to the other screen, and lots of good things have been happening here. So let me just go there. Where is my correct screen? Yeah, so this is, well, who could this else be? It's Lady Hawk's page, of course. Lady Hawk's page is, I don't know when she ever sleeps. I have no idea if she ever sleeps, but she works a lot and she does all this. I have no idea how she does it, but she's amazing. And the wealth of information is just amazing. Plus, I typically see 50 to 100 or more comments on every single one, and she answers a lot of comments on top of that. I find it absolutely amazing. So again, thanks to Lady Hawk. I take a lot of your information. I give you all the credit for it, and I'm very grateful that you do this for us. Without this and your webpage, I could not do this. However, there's some additional information that we'll also be discussing, and that's not on Lady Hawk's page, and those are the nests that I have been describing. Plus, we'll go to Vancouver later, and in Vancouver, there has been something strange happening. There's been an eagle attack. I'll talk about that. And then finally, a little bit about Australia. Last time, Osprey Mama asked me, and I don't know if Osprey Mama's around today, but she asked me, well, can you talk a bit about Australia? Yes, I can. And so we'll give a little bit of astronomy to make the thing a little bit more worldly and exciting. Okay, so first page. Now let me just, now this is all a little bit far away, so I have to make sure I don't press on the wrong buttons here. Okay, now the first page looks completely blank. Dark, doesn't it? But you know what? This is a live picture. This is a live picture of Smola, Norway. And and I recognize a lot of your names, by the way. If you've just been on this noisy picture, Smola, Norway is absolutely amazing because last year we had an interview, thanks to Lady Hawk, with them. And I just have to now quickly look so I get my notes right here. Just give me a second. Let me just switch over to my other page, if I can do that. Yeah, here are my notes. So let me just look. So this is all by Streambird in Norway. So it's their 5th season now. It's their 5th season, and this is the second one that has already come. They've got 2 eaglets. There's the white-tailed eagle. As you know, the white-tailed eagles I'm very much in love with. Ever since I was in Hokkaido, I have really begun to admire white-tailed eagles. They are a little bit larger than our bald eagles. It's Baron Blue and Baroness Barefoot on the small island of Smola. If you don't know where Smola is, take a moment to look it up. A little bit about Norway. So it's quite a long country. Oslo is 60 degrees north latitude. I used to live in Västerås, which is close to Stockholm. That's why I know that. It's about the same latitude. You go north from that, you come to Bergen, and if you go further north, you come to a place called Trondheim. Well, Smola is not as far north as Trondheim is, but it is on the island. It's a small island on the west. It's sort of west-southwest of Trondheim. That's approximately where it is. And the latitude is 63.5 degrees. Now, that's not far from the Arctic Circle, and that explains why we see complete darkness there. It's actually marvelous because at the moment the sun sets there at 10 p.m. and rises at 5 a.m. And in fact, midsummer, which is their highlight, when they have when the sun is at its highest, the sun virtually just at that latitude just goes below the horizon. So the sunset is just after 11 p.m. and it starts rising just before 4 a.m. So it's a very short night. And it never really gets dark because, I mean, I've lived in those areas. 60 degrees, not 63.5, but it's quite a crazy feeling. Of course, in winter you have the exact opposite, right? You have the exact opposite. So coming to this nest now, that's why you see that. And if you haven't seen this nest, take a look at it. It's just past 2 a.m. in Norway at the moment. That's why it's so dark, but very soon the sun's going to rise again, 3 hours, and it's going to be light, and so they don't actually need this camera at night, right? So, anyway, Lady Hawk is also a moderator on that channel. I've seen that. Great. I'm sorry I didn't know that, but that's absolutely marvelous. So Lady Hawk's got her talents everywhere. Quite amazing. And also so Pascal and so Quiet Eagle. Cameron is on that page and many others. Yeah, Tom Sawyer I've seen and many others on that. So I just jumped in. Renee was in there, Johan Krüger and so on, and many others. So some of you who've just jumped in, thanks for Lady Hawk, excuse me, for giving the link. That's marvelous. Okay, so let's just see. That was the live picture, which is there's not much to see, but let's get to some news now, and I'm going to just close it very carefully. Don't mess this up. Okay, so here we go. So we have a new. So what happened? Welcome Eaglet number 2. That is the channel again of Lady Hawk on the 28th of April. So last week we just on last Friday, you maybe remember, we just had number 1. So this is number 2 who just came in. I'm just going to run it right now. So that has happened very recently, and it's a really beautiful atmosphere there. So I'm just going to let it run. They've got this, as you can see, right next to the water, and you can see some zooming here on our little one. So I'm just going to maybe go a little bit forward. Let's see if I can find my mouse. No, I can't find my mouse. Ah, here it is. Oh yeah, that is absolutely beautiful. This is such an incredible nest, and you can just see. I don't know who it is who's arriving there, whether it's the Baron, Blue Baron, or the Baroness. I'm sure somebody can comment here, so let me just jump back and make sure I see your comments too. What is the island of name of the island? The gentleman goes is Småla. It's the SMO with the O. That's the Norwegian O, Smøla. Småla, I think that's how you pronounce it. That is what it is. Yes, Dolly says, guys, the sunsets are amazing there. Yes, they are. I mean, it's also quite cold in Norway. I mean, if you've spent summers in Norway, I have, it is quite coolish because it is fairly north, right? But it's absolutely exquisite. So anyway, that is the beautiful nest. Yes, and I don't know who it was who was coming in, but anyway, it's a marvelous whitetail nest. And there's a lot of activity there. So they have superb internet there and very good communication and very high density of eagles, right? So anyway, so do have a look at the nest. So let me just close that window very carefully. I'm doing everything from quite a distance now. Yes, that's another one. I'll quickly show you this one here, introducing newest whitetail. So this was obviously another video from there. Oh, there you can see, I think you can see the little one there. I'm not sure who we are looking at there. Oh, there you can see both heads. So that's fine. You can see both heads. And by the way, I saw in the comments they're growing at such a rapid rate. I mean, now their weight increase is phenomenal. It almost looks like they're doubling daily. It's not as crazy as that because they double, their weight increase is maximum around 3-4 weeks. They really go, but at the moment, the stability of the head and everything, they're developing at an incredible rate, and obviously they're doing very well. So congratulations to that nest, and congratulations to all those people who are helping to run it. Wonderful, and do support that nest. Okay, it's beautiful. Next one. Yes, well, where would we go, right? Where would we go? So let me just jump quickly back to my notes here. Make sure I get everything right. close all those windows too, because I have everything double now, so I don't make mistakes. Yes, so we are now at the Southwest Florida Eagle Cam nest. Well, those are the usual Christmas babies, and you know them very well. And I'm going to, you know what, I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller because I'm sitting in the way here. So let me just do that. Yeah, that's a lot better. Now I've disappeared, and now you have a much better view, of course. So this is, of course, the Pritchett estate, and the story here is none. There are 1,069 people watching this live at the moment. So that's the live view of the nest. I just had to show you that. So it's probably the most popular camera still. Lots of chats going on there. And the news I'll tell you in a moment. I'm just going to close this window. All takes a little bit longer now from here, but if you have patience, it's okay. So what is the news? Last week we still had E13, of course, there, and E12. Well, in the meantime, E13 has left, and then E12 was gone for a while, and then returned again. So, it's what is quite marvelous here is E12 is quite a character, right? E12 is defending the nest, is doing everything, and the E13 obviously is a completely different character, has left. So E12, there's been, you should also see E12 as Lady Hawk is giving a beautiful tribute to E12. Together with some marvelous music, so do have a look at that. So it's E12 is very much loved and seems to enjoy the whole territory. It's very different. It seems to like to stay there, and I think as of this moment it is still there, unless somebody corrects me. But that's the news that I had from the last, from the last hours. E12 was still present, so I think. As you can see, it's a very popular, very popular channel, and so E12 is defending the area and feeling very much at home. So maybe it's going to be similar to Samson and Delilah from the Northeast Florida nest, where one day they will return and we will see them again. So quite exciting, quite exciting. So that is there, and so the question here. Okay, this is another nice one, by the way. I always have to be careful because I'm doing everything double here. So let me just close this one quickly. And then I will have a quick check on the chat to make sure that audio and everything is still there. So let me just put this one on. So just give me a second. Yes, I think everything is still okay. I miss E13 so much, says Sharon. Yes. Well, who knows? They might come back, right? Proud Cat Mama 3 says E12 absolutely loves the pond. Yes, it does. I remember the swimming incident also, of course. Absolutely loves the pond. Let's see what's going on Facebook. Let's see what my Facebook friends say. Maywood says, E12 is our pond princess. E12 was gone a day and a half and is back. Yes, that's what it was. Yes, I was blocking the view. I'm out of the view now. How do I say it? Donnell Danish. Yes, I was blocking the view, but I'm out of the view. I got it in the middle. Oh gosh, now I've messed this one up. We have completely wrong channel now. I don't know, this has jumped to the next one. This is not what we needed. I have no idea where we are now. But let me just close this 1 second. You see, I have to pay so much attention to everything. So that's right. So let me just close this for 1 second. So what I wanted to talk about is, and this is something that Lady Hawk brought up, is where do the eagles go in Florida? And let me just remove this silly other thing here. So the question is, where do the eagles go to, right? And what is interesting is she was referring to a paper from 1947, which I found absolutely amazing, from 1947. And I looked up that paper, And I read it, actually, most of it at least. And I found it absolutely intriguing. So I'm just going to get that paper now. It's a huge paper. And I've marked some bits that I want to read, because the question is really, since when do we actually know where the eagles go? And what happens to them? The pun princess, yes. Well, anyway, you can see what's so silly with YouTube. Sometimes it goes on to the next, whatever is next on it. So you always get some amusement when things are live. Right, so this is the question. So this was done by Charles Broley in 1947, and thanks for that reference, Lady Hawk. And it's a long article, and I'm just going to let me just bring this up a little bit so you can read the title. I've expanded a bit. So it's from the Wilson Bulletin, Migration and Nesting of Florida Bald Eagles. Now what's interesting is just to read the first paragraph so you have an idea of what people knew then, how the situation was with eagles, and how it is in fact now. It's a great paper, isn't it, Dolly Quinn? Well, if you've read this, if you haven't read this, please read it. It reads like an absolute thriller. And people don't write like this anymore. They used to write like this, but they don't write like this anymore. Papers of 22 pages in this type of details are non-existent. Scientific papers are very short nowadays, full of references. And so very often we don't see this anymore. Okay, there we go. Okay, so what is so interesting, I'm going to read the first paragraph to you and also the second paragraph, and you can read it with me. Previous in January of 1939, so we're talking just about the Second World War here, few bald eagles, the Haliaetus leucocephalus, which means of course the white-tailed sea eagles, have been banded in Florida. So it never actually happened before. The Florida bald eagle was considered non-migratory and regularly recorded as a permanent resident of the state. Well, they all look the same, isn't it? They all look the same. So you would think, because they all look the same, they must always be non-migratory. In 1938, Richard Powell of the National Audubon Society suggested that I band a few eagles as an experiment. And during the 8 years, 1939 to April of 1946, this is all going on during the Second World War and just thereafter. Isn't this interesting? I banded 814 bald eagles along the Gulf Coast. The Gulf Coast of Florida. Practically all in January and February and few in March. Meanwhile, I kept a year-by-year record of most of the nests and its banding area, which extended from Hernando County to Lee County. So it's a huge area that this man has covered. And here we go. Now it gets interesting. In 1939, I banded 44 eagles. To my surprise, one of the first recoveries, May 8th, 1939. I'm just going to scroll this up a little bit so you can also read with me here. There we go. There we go. Was made in Columbiaville, New York, more than 1,000 miles from the place of banding. During the following years, up to 1946, reports of recoveries numbering all in 48 came rapidly from 17 states and provinces, and so on. And he says, to my surprise, so this came completely unexpected. 7 of the birds were recovered at nests within a mile of the place of banding, and I'll give you an example of that in a moment. But more than a third were recovered for at least 1,000 miles away. So this was huge news that eagles actually migrate. So this comes right to 1939. And one more than 1,600 miles away, Kings County, Prince Edward Island. Of course, now we're going right into Canada. And that was my original question to Lady Hawk. Wouldn't they migrate to Canada? So the answer is absolutely yes, because a comparison of dates of banding with recovery of table 1, and you can read this for yourself with the tables, shows that some young birds reach Canada within a few weeks of learning how to fly. So that's quite marvelous. So let's just scroll a little bit further to the next page. And this is shocking, so I'm sorry, but now comes something you will not like seeing. This is absolutely shocking. Shocking. I was shocked when I saw this because Well, not, because you can see on the left side they have the migration, and on the where they were recovered, and on the right side where they were banded. So beautiful places like Sarasota. Who would want to leave Sarasota? So you can see all the prime places like Lakeland, Sarasota, Tampa. You know, they seem to have stayed there. Now, it's a joke, of course, but those are the prime areas, the most expensive areas, of course, in Florida. So they seem to like them. And then other places, they seem to like less for whatever reason. And one of them is Fort Myers, surprise. I'm only joking. Lovely Fort Myers, but I'm just joking. So they went to Mississippi. However, the shock, and this is the terrible thing about it, is so many of them were shot. Can you believe it? Shot, dead. Shot, captured, shot, found dead. Oh my goodness, my jaw just dropped when I saw this. I mean, you can see how things have changed from that time. We had DDT coming in later. Eagles were nothing, they were shot. There are reports in here of boys climbing on trees, taking out the eggs. That was the norm. That was the norm. Eagles were nothing. And this is why you should read this paper. It's incredible because it is really reported so dryly. Why? Yes, they were killed and shot. Exactly, Susan North. They were killed and shot. Well, that was the norm. They were seen as predators. They were seen as competing with man. David Hancock has alluded so many times to this, but I have never seen a paper that so clearly discusses this, right? And that's why I want you to read this. It really is interesting, but it's shocking, okay? So I'm warning you, it's shocking. But let me just go on with reading some of the paragraphs here because it's so fascinating, written. A comparison of the dates of banding with dates of recovery show that most reached Canada and so on. I said that. Since it was then 4 weeks old, so they started in 4 weeks old. It was found at Ledger Brook and so on, so many days later. And then unfortunately he talks a lot about the death of so many eagles that were found. So the method, what he did is he banded over 800 eagles in a period of about 5-6 years. And during that time, a lot of them were recovered dead, unfortunately. And some of them were recovered live. But it was horrendous. But at least they now had an idea of their migration because eagles weren't considered important. I was surprised that there was even a study that was conducted because eagles were so incredibly unimportant, right? Thank God for the Migratory Act, yes, and the federal protection for the eagles, absolutely, Lady Hawk. And that came, and we can talk through the history, but this is a historical document, right? And so I'm just going to I marked some sections, so do read it, please. But I'm going to jump a little bit to page 9 now, and I'm going to scroll forward to page 9, so you can follow this with me. Very easy to find again. If you want to find the reference, maybe Lady Hawk or someone can just kindly put in the cross-reference here. I can also try, if I don't forget, put it in later. This is page 9, so I'm reading from page 9 now. Second paragraph, because I found this interesting. Eagles show very strong attachment to a chosen territory. When a pair lose their nest or deserted after disaster, and you're talking about hurricane disasters here. In 1946, they had a huge hurricane disaster. I think it was 44 or 46. I think it was 44, sorry, in Florida. They nearly always choose a tree close by for their close by for their new nest. Even if they move a mile or so away, they usually continue to feed on the old hunting grounds adjacent to the former nest site. Makes complete sense, doesn't it? Frequently, I've seen eagles either in a very weak tree or with a very poor crotch. They sometimes but such nests seldom last more than a year. This is again an interesting observation, isn't it? It's also typically what we see in the urbanization of eagles. As we deforest more and more trees, they will build on weaker and weaker support platforms because that's the territory they know, and that's the territory they are competing with others, and that is their fishing grounds, that is their feeding habitat, and so on. So that is quite interesting. And then he goes on to say, it is remarkable, that's the next paragraph, it is remarkable how much disturbance may occur around the nest without causing the eagles to desert. Yeah, that is, again, you may think of the urban eagle that David Hancock so often refers to. That's exactly right. Eagles have completely urbanized. Also in Florida, you see them all right next to, I mean, look at the Pritchett estate. It's next to a busy road. The same with the Northeast Florida. It's in a residential area, but those are all very much, fortunately, with a lot of people who take a lot of care with them. But it's quite, you know, it's quite, let me just, yeah, see, I just saw Guy writing a comment here, so I'm just giving it okay. So Guy, thanks for putting in the comment here on the north migration and nesting of Florida bald eagles. Thank you very much for putting that in. But you can see it's they were studied, and I think this is probably one of the fundamental studies of eagles that happened in the United States. It's around 1939 where the awareness happened, and then the Migratory Act and many other things occurred very rapidly, but it would take decades. And it goes to this day until the whole, you know, the whole ramifications of DDT and so on would be considered in the right way, and also the protection went on. I'm just trying to see, it's such a long article, so I'm going to go right to the end of page 19. So let me go forward all the way to page 19. Let's see where we are. So it's really a long 17, 18, 19, because I got something else there that I would like to read to you, and that I think is the final thing. This is also interesting, and this brings us right to the next nest of Peter Sharp, to Fraser Point, right? Fraser Point was very dramatic, as you remember, but there was some banding going on there. The proper time, so when you ban eagles, the proper time to ban the young is when they are between 3 and 6 weeks of age. I wonder what Dr. Peter Sharp would say to that. I think he would say more 6 weeks than 3 weeks. Isn't that so, Lady Hawk? I think it's typically 4, 5, 6 weeks. We can talk about it on Fraser Point because we should have the exact data there. But that was the major conclusion that I saw here. And then finally, we go one page further and we read here, the most troublesome birds, the most troublesome birds are almost large enough to fly, which on my approach jump out of the nest and fly or glide to the ground. So this is a major problem, right? Since they cannot take off from the ground, they must be returned to the nest and to save them from predators and from starvation, for the parents not to feed them on the ground. I have been obliged to replace more than 30 of these birds. So he put them back. I once found an 8-week-old bird at the front of a nest tree. It appeared weak and underweight. I returned it to the nest, and it immediately began to feed on a fresh fish that was there, paying no attention whatsoever to me. But as I reached the nest with this bird, its nest fellow jumped out and flew a considerable distance. So you can see the problem. It was so weak, they behave very different. So its first instinct is food and not the fear of an intruder, whilst the other one was well fed and flew away. So a lot of interesting studies going on here. Yes, so Lady Hawk says about 5 to 6 weeks of banding. That was my guess too. So I thank you again, Lady Hawk, for this amazing reference. I thoroughly enjoyed reading this. Disturbing too and shocking, but do read it. A historical, incredible document. As I said, they don't write like this anymore. So let me just close this window here and jump to the next one. So now it brings us right to Fraser Point. And I think, again, you can correct me, if I remember correctly, it was somewhere they were born around the 11th and 14th of March. Is that correct? That would put us into about 6 weeks, because there is Dr. Peter Sharp going with, and let me just, I have to go back to my notes because I can't remember all these names. So give me a second here. I have to read, yes, going with Nate Melling to the Fraser Point nest on Santa Cruz Island. So I'm just going to play this. And it's quite remarkable how low this nest actually is. So let me just play this for you. And you can see how they approach the nest. It's very low, right? It's very low. And obviously they don't have any predators there, so that's interesting. And of course, it's quite amazing because you can actually watch them do the banding and also the measurements. They would determine they do all the typical things. They would take a sample, blood sample, and so on. They determine the DNA, and from there they determine the sex or gender of the bird, and also some other characteristics. And quite interesting. So that was part one of it, of the banding, which just happened recently. And if you haven't seen anything like that, it's amazing. They show this live every time in very high resolution. So I'm just going to jump to the second one and just expand this to, and you can see here they're just taking a sample. That's Dr. Sharp, who we interviewed a year ago. It was quite amazing. Institute for Wildlife Studies. I hope they're doing better with their funding now, because I know their funding ran out. But you can see they're carefully handling the birds. And Lady Hawk gives some additional information there, which you can also find, by the way, on the next page. So I won't show this too long. You can definitely enjoy this. Here they're putting the birds back. They're quite big, right? This looks more like 4 or 5, yeah, something like 5 weeks to me. And let's close that window again. And then comes a very nice cross-reference here from Lady Hawk, because this is also very nice, because you can see how they actually compare the males and the females. And we had this before on a broadcast, but what I didn't see up to now was that they had this formula. I knew, or we talked about the bill depth, right? The bill depth. And of course, the length of the hallux, that is the back toe, how large it is, they measure this. And then they have a formula. If it's positive, listen to this, if it's positive, it's a female, if it's negative, it's a male. Now, how should I interpret that? Oh yeah, that's it. But that's a quite simple formula. So what they did is, and it's really a simple formula, because obviously the females are a lot bigger, and they have a much larger bill depth, and they have a much larger hallux length. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to look at the results here in a table and tell you, and I'll give you your guess here, which of these are females and which are males. Let me expand this a little bit more so you can see this a little bit better. So that's the question. So you've got K58, and some of you will know these birds already, but you can see that if the bill depth, you can look at that. They have 37 millimeters bill depth, and at that time the formula was only bill depth, but now they're measuring both. In fact, you can see that the first one has to be a female, the second one has to be a female, and then towards the end you can see E63 and E50, the bill depth gets a lot smaller, and not necessarily the weight, of course, too, but that if you look at the weight you would already know. But you can see here that those two are males. They are negative. Sorry guys, you're negative. Yeah, maybe they have a similar formula for human beings too, but we'll see. Okay, so that was an interesting reference. Thank you, Lady Hawk. I didn't know this one. I had only seen other ones from Dr. Sharp. Okay, let me just give me a small break here, and then we'll continue. I actually needed a commercial break. Okay. Next nest. Let me see if you're all still with me here. I just have to switch screen here, which, by the way, goes a little bit more elegant on the on the Mac than it does on a PC here. There we go. I'm just reading some of the comments. He knew a fledged. Okay, you're talking a lot about. There's a lot of discussion going on. I can see, and let me see what's going on Facebook. E12 hasn't returned. Oh, is that so? Well, we are going to talk about E12 in 1 second. So it says E12 hasn't returned to the pasture tonight. Thank you, Sue, for that update. Irene says they're going to band West and triplets tomorrow morning. Thank you, Irene, for giving that information. So there you go. So we'll have a lot more. But in the meantime, let's talk about a wonderful Shadow. So that is the 5-year-old male who has his first time chicks and first time dad. And he's doing obviously very well. We were talking about him last week. And so I will just show the video in the meantime so you can enjoy this. So there you go, that's Shadow, and gosh, what was her name again? Oh my goodness, I knew her name, I knew her name. Shadow and let me just look at my notes here. I should know this. Jackie, yes. That was Shadow and Jackie, that's right. And they were born on the 14th and 15th of April, right? So they're still very young. That's it. So it's Shadow and Jackie. That's right. Wonderful scenes again, very, very good high resolution camera. There's a lot going on there in California right now. So really beautiful. Jackie is her name. Yes, Carrie, it's Jackie, isn't it? Jackie, thank you very much. Yes, Rebecca, it's Jackie. Yes, Jackie or Mrs. BB. Okay, so this is Mrs. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. So there she has, obviously she's got two names, Jackie or Mrs. BB. That's fine. So that's great. Okay, excellent. So let me just see where we are now. Okay, and let's look at another one of Shadow quickly. So I'll take another one there. Let me just go right back up and close this carefully. And here is another one. Yes, it's called Big Bear Eagle Shadow and his sticks. Puts on top of the babies. Yeah, well, Dad, that's not very nice, is it? I mean, goodness me. You put it right on top of the babies. Well, he probably thinks the house is more important. So somewhere here, let me see if I can find the spot, but there must be a wonderful scene where he puts the stick right on top of them. So let's just watch this for a second. Give me also a break here. Let's see what he's going to do. Well, he's obviously a very, very proud father. Let me just see where he does it. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure. I'm just trying to find the spot. Maybe it happened already. It probably happened already there. So maybe I just missed it. I may have missed it. I may have missed it. Well, anyway, he's a very good papa. You can see that. I mean, obviously he is. But somewhere here, he places it right on top of them. Anyway, forgive me if I can't find it, because there's just so much going on. But I'm quite sure you'll find it. Well, there he's moving it away from them, so he's doing exactly the opposite. Must have happened just before that then. Maybe here? Yeah, just a little bit before, bit before. Yeah, it must be right here. Ah, there he goes. Okay, I'm so glad I found it. Thank you, I found it. So it's right in the beginning. He places it right on top of them. And then Mama probably gives him hell, said, how could you? And then he probably looks a bit dazzled, and then, yeah, well, he does what he has to do, and he's a very good papa. Okay, very good. yes, and the next one, aren't they beautiful? So the next one, we're going to go to Big Bear. We had that also last time, the Big Bear eagles. So let's just close this one. And that is the feeding of the two. 2 weeks old they are. And an absolutely remarkable camera again. So here you can see some feeding. And let me just read some notes. Simba and Cookie are now 2 weeks old and entering the next phase of their growth. Between 15 and 40 days of age, eaglets have an average daily weight gain of 150 grams or 5 ounces. The eaglets will be replacing the soft white down with a darker thermal down, which has good insulation. So Lady Hawk again with incredible information here. Jackie gets up from brooding and begins to feed Simba. Yeah, that's right. There we go. So that's Jackie just there. Okay, so that was on the 30th. Wonderful. Okay, yeah. Good. Thanks a lot. So that was Jackie again. And let me close that one. And let's see what the next one is. Gosh, I got so many beautiful things here. Oh yes, again at Big Bear, because here was an intruder alarm. So let me just play this one quickly and then I'll read up about it. Okay, some intruder alarm. So let me just, give me a second. So Shadow and Jackie defend the nest. So here we go. So Papa, so this is already the fourth video here with Papa, and so there's a lot of complaints going on here. So there was an intruder alarm. Wow, there was an action-packed video. Jackie is on the right branch when she suddenly alerts loudly. She comes back to the nest, vocalizing at the top of her lungs as an intruder is close by and lands in the nest tree above her. Now that's a very bad thing to do. Pine needles fall to the nest from him. This is a 2 to 3 year old juvenile eagle. Well, who knows? Maybe it is a juvenile eagle in the area, confirmed by Dr. Sharp, and Shadow goes after it. Okay, well, they would know because it would be banded otherwise. Jackie is a fierce protector of the nest and her babies and continues to sound the alarm. We see the intruder fly by at 9:54. So I'm just going to jump to that. 1 second, let me just see where that is. I know there's a link to that, but I'm going to do it manually. Somewhere here. Should just be approximately coming in here now. 41. Okay, so let's just wait 10 seconds. Tom Sawyer says, great video here, tandem defense by Shadow and Jackie. Great video by Lady Hawk, yes. So you've seen it all, isn't it incredible? Isn't that an incredible scene here? And let's see. Hazel level lead join, that's very good. And Susie says, always love to listen to your comments and videos, thank you. Well, that's very kind of you, and it's and thanks to all of you. I mean, it wouldn't be possible. There's so much. I mean, it takes hours to prepare, as you can imagine. But even hours are not enough because it's just so much information. So without your help, it wouldn't be possible. Absolutely not. Thank you for giving thumbs up for Christian. Yes, thank you, Osprey Mama. Yes, please do that. Please give thumbs up. That really is helpful. Give thumbs up. I really appreciate that. So thank you, Osprey Mama. Nice to see you here, and thanks for saying that. So let me just jump back to my other screen now. See my notes here, and close this window. And let's go to the next one. Okay, this is where I need your help. I need your help. Okay, so I'm going to go now, and I'm going to wait a little bit, and hope that someone from Dollywood is going to come and help me about the nest. So Dollywood is in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, And what I would like to know is some more information about this nest. Okay, who can help? I'm going to give you a dial and then give me a small break too. So this is where my first question comes in. Here is a phone number for you. And please dial that phone number. I'm just going to make sure my phone is on. Yes, it is available. It should work. I've installed it new here on this laptop. So what I would like to ask you is, I'm going to show the Dollywood nest in a moment, but I would very much appreciate if someone could call in who can give us a little bit of background in about 2 to 3 minutes about Dollywood. And this is where your participation is very valued. Okay, who knows something about the Dollywood nest and who's going to do the first step? So I'm going to wait a little bit and jump in. In the meantime, I'm going to let you have a look. Let me see, where are we now? Yes, we have an eaglet in Dollywood. So I'm going to show this whilst I'm going to show this for you to enjoy, and hopefully there'll be somebody who falls, who's going to be so nice and gives us a call, right? Give us a call at the number above and help us with Dollywood. Okay, so you would come to, you'll hear my voice there, and then there's someone coming in. Okay, hang on. Okay, hello. Hello, who is this, please?
This is Margot.
Margot, thanks for being with us. That's great. So, Margot, do you know something about the Dollywood nest?
Well, there's really 2 of them this year. There's Isaiah and Mrs. Jefferson, and there's Glenda and Grant. And there's 1 chick, and the chick's name is Iowa Holly. It's Cherokee for Eagle. And her number's DG2, but that's boring.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult. Unfortunately, the connection doesn't seem to be so good. Could you just repeat that? You said there are 2. Just repeat it again. I'm not sure if I can hear you. Hello? Yeah, the connection doesn't seem to be so good. Jefferson, okay, I can hear 2. I can hear that, but unfortunately the connection is not good. It's very difficult to understand, unfortunately, for whatever reason. But yeah, it's just.
Way out here in the country, I'm hard to hear.
Oh no, that's okay. I mean, look, it's okay. But I heard something about Jefferson. Do you know how old the nest is? Can't hear anything. I can't hear anything. Okay. It's completely muffled, unfortunately. I can't make out head or tail. So I'm still unfortunately there where we were. So I don't know at the moment what it is. So either okay, they ended the call. Is there anybody else who wants? Here we go. Now that's a loud, clear. Okay, hang on. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, now that is loud and clear. I can hear you. Who's speaking, please?
This is Mac Lady.
Mac Lady, fantastic. Thank you for joining. That's great. Mac Lady, where are you located?
I'm in Florida, Jacksonville, Florida.
Jacksonville, Florida. That's a wonderful place. We're just talking about Florida. What did you think, by the way, of this whole eagle study? Did you know about this that I just that I was?
No, that is not at all. Brand new. I went to the link, and I've got the link. I'm going to read the whole thing later. I sent you via email a map of all most documented Florida eagle nest. It's in your email.
Right.
You'll see a bunch of purple dots all over Florida.
Thank you very much. Of course, there are many. It's the second after Alaska. It's for sure. Yeah. So thanks for doing that. So what can you tell us about Dollywood?
Well, as you said, it's been Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and I have been watching the Grant and Glenda nest
Right.
that the first caller was talking about.
Right.
They named the chicks a Cherokee Indian word, and it's called Wahali.
A Wahali. My goodness, that's interesting. Okay.
And the Glenda and Grant, most of the nests in Dollywood are unreleasable eagles. They've been injured in some way or some.
Oh, really? Okay.
And Grant and Glenda, Glenda was injured in 2012 in Washington, and they tried to take care of her there, and then they finally said, well, the whole Dollywood, every one of the Dollywood nests is American Eagle Foundation.
Right.
They're sponsored by that.
Right.
They brought these injured eagles to Dollywood, and Dollywood has made such a great enclosure for them. I had been chatting with them a couple of days ago because I saw the eaglet was by himself most of the time because they didn't pan out and show the parent eagle sitting on branches next to the nest, so I got a little bit concerned about how come that eaglet is being alone so much, and I'm thinking, well, Glenda and Grant are first time
Right.
parents.
Right.
And I think, well, are disabled eagles, are they kind of lacking in instinctual behavior, or are they a little bit slow to know how to take care of the baby? But
Right.
I started chatting with one of the admins on that site, and they said, no, they're fine. They provide like a tub of food for all the eagles. There's 3 famous nests there. Glenda and Grant, Isaiah and Mrs. Jefferson, and Pickamate.
Oh, really?
So they say they keep food out open for them all the time, so the eagles can fly into this den and pick out.
That's incredible.
Dead quail they provide for them. They provide fish for them.
Wow, really?
They feed the babies at all times. So it's a wonderful. I'm sure that Dolly Parton had a lot to do with that.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, MacLady. That was a superb summary. I'm very happy you called in. And my hunch was good to talk about this nest. I thought, who knows? Who knows? And what you've given here is really worth gold. Thank you so much.
And I also put the link in the thread.
You did put the link in the thread. Thank you so much. That's great. Okay, very good. Well, thanks so much. That was a lot of information about Dollywood. So thanks for calling in. And
anytime, Kristen, I love the shows. I look forward to our Friday night visits with you and all the others.
And all the others, exactly. And do send me an email, MacLady, please. The email, zasaphoto@gmail.com. And yeah, if you've seen one of the pictures, or if you don't mind, I'll just send you one of these beautiful pictures, and then you can print it out and enjoy it. Okay? Thank you so much.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Christian.
Thank you, fine. Okay, thanks, fine. Bye. Well, that was certainly interesting. So here we go. That was all about Dollywood. I had no idea that they have such an incredible history there. I never heard of a nest being taken care of this way. So that was wow, that was incredible. So by the way, I'm quickly going to show my email in here. If any of you want to receive updates, because I'm going to try and broadcast more frequently, if possible, not only Fridays, but whenever something happens, I might do it for 10-15 minutes only. Send me an email, zasavoda@gmail.com, and tell me that you want to join the list. I'll put you on the list, and I will send out a list so that you are informed. So thanks for the update. That was great. So I'm going to shrink again now. Where is my shrink mode? Here, I'm shrinking. And let me just get this out of the way here. No, that's not right. That was me out of the way. That's not the right one. Here, sorry, this one. Okay, so that's Dollywood. Now comes the next nest. I mean, this is all very interesting. You see, this is what I enjoy so much, is your participation in this, because it just makes things so much better. I hate holding monologues, so that was Dollywood. Just going to close these windows and we'll get to the next nest now. Oh, that's the trio. The trio have a triplet. The trio have a triplet. I'm just going to play this quickly. Just put the sound on there too. And then I'm going to just go to my notes here and tell you a little bit about the trio nest. Just hang on. Right, so they have a triplet. It's E1, E2, and E3 hatched 27th, 29th, and the 1st of April. And they're doing remarkably well. So if you don't know about the trio nest, it's located in the backwaters of the Upper Mississippi River National Wildlife and Fish Refuge near Lock and Dam, 13, Fulton, Illinois, on the Mississippi River. The trio consists of 2 males and 1 female. We had that many times before. He has a very interesting history. And we remember that in California we have the reverse with Superman, right? Frequently asked questions and so on. You can see all that, and you can buy all kinds of wonderful things about this nest. So it's a very unique nest, at least unique in the sense that they also have a camera where you can watch that. So these are doing remarkably well. So that is the trio update. Next nest, my goodness, we got so many things, right? Oh, this is interesting, and I haven't got a clue about this nest, and this is where I need the second helper, please. So the first one was MacLady, and by the way, the other person who helped also knew it. So just send me an email to zasavoda@gmail.com. I apologize, we couldn't hear you properly, but I will both send you a picture. Thank you so much for participating. So again, I'm going to blend in the number now. So here's the number, and the question is, Denton Holmes. What do we know about this nest in Iowa? Right, Denton Holmes. Looks very interesting. Who can call in, please, and give us some background about Denton Holmes? Oops, sorry, I just need to expand that. I just bumped the mouse there. And I'm just going to go quickly whilst you dial in. So the line's open again. I'm going to just have a quick look at the chat and see if there's anybody there. Oh, thank you. I got some donations there. Thank you from Laurie Reha, and thank you also Lady Hawk, both for contributing $20. I really appreciate it. And sorry if I'm not always on the chat. I jump really from windows to windows, and I'm multitasking, which is very difficult. But I apologize that I didn't see it straight away. I really appreciate those donations. Thank you so much. All that goes to improve the channel, you know, and it really does. Okay. Did we lose you? Okay, I hope you didn't. I hope you didn't. I hope I'm still there. MSO is there. I'm angry at Denton Holmes. They named the chicks DH1. Oh, here we go. Knowing that Dale Hollow. Oh, here we go. There's some local village clashing going on here. MSO is really unhappy because MSO is a big Dale Hollow fan and says, how dare you use that for Denton Holmes? My goodness. Okay, that is not nice. Okay, so here you go. Let's see what's going on Facebook. Tim Phillips, trio was national news a few weeks ago. Is that right? Eagle 7 is now Iowa Eaglets and born 16th and 18th. Very good. Linda says, I love the trio nest. So they're still talking about the trio nest. So in the meantime, can anyone please call in and give me an update about the Denton Holmes nest? I have no clue. We have so many nests, and I would love to know something about it. And I'm sure many of you would do too. So that is good. So please go ahead. If you're not going to call in, it's okay. Then we'll skip it, and I will hope that maybe somebody can write to me. But again, if you get a chance, call in. I'm going to just wait another minute or so. And in the meantime, don't forget to give some thumbs up. And thank you, Rebecca, for also a donation. That's very kind of you. That is absolutely wonderful. Those donations are highly welcome, and they will definitely be used towards the channel. As you know, I'm always improving things. Always improving things. Very nice. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Okay. So at the moment, I don't see anyone calling in. Maybe nobody just knows, which is fine. So I will just carry on. I can see on the Denton website there is Holly Ann, who seems to know a lot. I think Holly Ann probably would know a lot, and Becky. But I think they are probably not on here now. So never mind. It's okay. So we'll just carry on. Okay, next nest. Let me just close this window very carefully again. So, oh yes, just Decora very quickly. I won't say much about Decora because we covered it last time. Just to show you, there's a lot going on at the Raptor Resource Center because it's the Decora nest, as you know, is powered by Explore, and there are 1,674 people watching right now. Marvelous nest here from the Raptor Resource Project. I just wanted to mention it. Most of you will probably know this nest. And we discussed they have two successful offsprings. And here's the third riddle. And this is probably equally difficult for you. I was fascinated to find, and there is a nest in Berkeley. Let me just bring it up here on my screen. So that is the UC Berkeley, the University of California, Berkeley peregrine cam. I think they have at least two cameras at least, a live camera. And I find it absolutely fascinating. Does anybody watch this nest? And I'm going to just jump back to your comments. Is there anybody who knows something about this nest? And you can call in, please. I'm just... losing my signal. Okay, I hope it's not me who's losing the signal. Denton Holmes nest is first cam on a private property. Thank you, Tim Phillips. Marvelous, thank you. Tim, next time do call in if that's okay with you. The Eaglets were born on April 16th and 18th. Well, Tim, that is marvelous. Do send me an email, Tim, zasavoda@gmail.com. And then I will happily send you a picture for that. Thanks, Tim, for that great contribution. And here is the peregrine falcon nest, which is also incredible. So if anybody knows something about that nest, do let us know. Okay, so never mind. I will jump on now because it's getting late very quickly here. And you've been on this show for over 1 hour. And that's just incredible how time passes. I always have so much to show you, and it just seems to take very long. Okay, so that's the Berkeley nest. I'm just going to close it. That's just a very quick one. This is a little bit of a strange one. So what I want to show you now is there was an incident here in, let me just blend out the number here, 1 second. You don't need the phone number again. So this happened in Vancouver. There was an eagle attack, but just listen to what is said on the news. I think it's not working. Oh, the volume seems to be completely down there. 1 second, 1 second. Okay, let's try again. Let's try
She
again.
suffered cuts
Sorry
and
about that.
bruises.
I'll try
A
again.
Vancouver Island photographer has a harrowing tale to tell after a brush with two mating eagles. Lisa Bell was near Qualicum Beach yesterday, photographing as many as 100 eagles in the area when two of them lost control. Island photographer has
Okay,
a
we have someone
harrowing
calling
tale
in.
to
One
tell
second.
after a brush with two mating eagles. Lisa Bell was near
Hello?
Qualicum Beach yesterday, photographing as many as 100
Hi, Brian.
eagles
Just
in the area.
sorry,
when
who's
two of them
calling,
lost
please?
control, striking her in
Oh,
the
hi,
head and
Kristen.
arm with
It's
their talons.
Beach
She says
Girl.
the birds
Oh,
were
Beach Girl,
performing
can you just
a
hang on
mating
one
ritual,
second?
had
We
their
just
talons
have
locked, seemingly losing
this report
control when
going
they
on.
struck her.
So just
She
wait,
suffered
hang
cuts
on a
and
second,
bruises,
okay? And then
one
we can
cut even
talk. Okay,
requiring
one second.
stitches. Now,
Okay.
despite the incident, she was back out there today photographing more eagles.
Okay, so I'm just going to stop this quickly. One second. So let me just close this window quickly. So what was going on here, just I just quickly want to explain this. So there was an eagle attack near Vancouver, as you can see, and what happened is two eagles there got interlocked with each other. They got interlocked with each other, and they call this a mating dance, which is complete garbage, by the way. I mean, this is such a misinterpretation. This is not a mating dance, neither do they mate in the air. We know that. In the meantime, this was a territorial fight. That's why they do it. They don't fall to the ground and risk their injury just for mating. They wouldn't do that. So this is unfortunately a misconception. I just wanted to tell you that, and most of you will have noticed this undoubtedly. So I just wanted to show you that, but it can be very dangerous, of course, and my goodness, you can really get injured. But I think there was a lot of also a storm here, also in a teacup here, because it's very, very rare that this happens. Okay, so I just wanted to say that. So anyway, I'm going to jump now to quickly to have Beach Girl. Beach Girl, hi and welcome here.
Hello. If you have a question about the Dollywood nest, I can help you out.
Okay, the Dollywood nest, we had it nicely answered.
Oh, okay.
What I'm looking for is the Denton Holmes or the peregrine falcon nest, to have some answer on that one.
No, sorry, I can't help you out there, but I do know a lot about Dollywood.
Okay, well, tell us something quickly in 1 minute. Tell us something about Dollywood then. Go ahead.
Okay, well, the pair that are currently on camera with the baby, Grant and Glenda,
Yep.
they are both rescued eagles. They met at Dollywood in the Pick a Mate area of Dollywood.
Right.
And they met there about 2 years ago. They paired up. They had an egg that unfortunately did not hatch. They had one last year that broke, probably with an unformed, not completely formed eaglet inside.
Really?
And this year they've got one little baby that is just adorable.
Nice to hear. Very nice.
Yes. Yep. I'm sorry I couldn't help you with the other.
No, that's fine.
question.
Well, Beach Girl, please send me an email. Thank you so much. And
I will.
give me a week, because I have so much to do. But I will definitely send you a picture. Okay, and I'm
Wonderful.
I'm very grateful that you came online. Thank you. And the connection was the best, by the way. We could hear you loud and clear. So that was very good.
Yay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Okay,
very
take
much.
care. Thank you. Fine. Bye.
Okay, take care.
Well, that's great. So we got a lot of background on Dollywood. So anyway, just the Vancouver Island incident that you just heard. There's so much, but still it's amazing how much misconception there is, though our knowledge is so much, but we seem to live in such a fast age, which I don't like, by the way, that people make so many mistakes in their reports, and this is just one of the silly things also about eagles again that is spread. That's also why I wanted to show it to you. Okay, so let's jump on now, and this is finally going to Australia. That was Osprey Mama's wish. So I'm going to just jump to Australia, and I was recently in Australia. It was a fantastic time. So I wanted to show you what is so wonderful. There wasn't so much on the wildlife side, although there was a bit. So I wanted to show you what I actually did in Australia. They have a big telescope there. So I'm going to just get out of the way. 1 second. There we are. So there's a huge, it's Australia's biggest telescope. It's a 4-meter telescope. And here it is. And right on top you can see what they call they call this a catwalk. A catwalk. Right up there, I was allowed there. Can you believe it? I got permission to go up there and put my camera on the catwalk. And what you have to understand is this is rotating at night. Okay, this is rotating at night because it's a dome, it's a telescope that is rotating in different directions. So what I did up there is I put my camera up there a whole night and I did a time lapse. And it's quite amazing what the result is. So I just wanted to show you that. So I'm just going to jump back here and just show you first I'm going to show you what it's like on the catwalk. So that's up there, quite windy by the way. It's beautiful, beautiful view, and there is my camera.
The camera is roaring away. There it is. That's my camera. So let's take a quick walk around the catwalk anyway, and just look at the beautiful view that we have up here. There's some spaces that are not as windy, as you can see here. It's not so windy, and that's looking west, where the sun is about to.
Okay, I just put the sound off so that that you can hear me. So the catwalk, as you can see, goes 360 degrees around. You have this incredible view, right? You have this incredible view. That's where the lodge is. That's what I'm pointing out where I stayed and so on. It's incredible. So it's all on an old super volcano that's 300 million years old. And you have this incredible view. And right up there, so the whole dome rotates. You never know where the entrance and exit is. It's really funny, right? You can see how volcanic the whole area is. It's magnificent to walk up there. So just enjoy the walk as I go around, and you go from sunset to sunrise. It's quite incredible. Something very unique. So here I'm in the shadow of the dome, in the shadow of the sun, obviously. And it is quite amazing, isn't it? Top fan, it is. It's a very beautiful view. It really is. So I'm walking right around to give you an impression, because this is almost like being in a drone and flying around. And wow, it's remarkable. They have lots of kangaroos there, lots of wildlife by there. They also have koala bears and so on. There's my camera again. So that's the complete walk around. Yeah, you can see it's quite narrow up there, but wow, I mean, I'm very lucky that I have these type of privileges there. So I'm jumping out of that one. And just to show you what it looks like inside, this is what it looks like inside. It's a huge telescope. You can see how small the people are there, right? It's a huge telescope looking up there. So massive, massive, massive. That's inside the dome. And I'm just going to, oh yeah, maybe is this also a video? No, that's not a video, sorry. And now I'm going to show you quickly the video that I have. Let me quickly find it. Where was my video? 1 second. Gosh, I have so many things, you know. Oh no, that's not the one. Sorry, it's not. This is not the one I wanted to show you. Wait a second. Wait a second. I know where it is. I remember now where I put it. Just have to remember somebody. Here it is. This is it. This is the video. So this is the result, and it's just enjoy this. So you have to understand this was at full moon, and I'm just going to let you enjoy 1 minute here with beautiful music. You can see how the dome is rotating all the time. That's the moon. That is the moon. It's not the sun. That looks amazing, doesn't it? I can see your comment. That's the Milky Way going up. It's absolutely insane how beautiful it is. The moon's just gone down, just below the horizon. Yeah, sorry, and I'm going to close this quickly before I get another thing that I don't want. Before it closes again. Okay, there we go. Okay, so anyway, that was let me just get a nice picture back here. Let's put a nice mandarin duck in the background, and then I will put myself back in. So I just wanted to say this was an incredible experience in Australia, and I'll also show you some kangaroos now. Not the mandarin duck, but it's just a beautiful duck that I once took. But if you ever want to go on such an experience, drop me a line. I have the privilege there of giving astrophotography classes. You don't have to know anything, but you can have astrophotography classes and telescope classes there. It's 5 days and 5 nights in the most beautiful area. You're fully looked after. All the food is included. It's quite incredible. So if you ever are out for a real adventure that is very secure, a very secure area, everything's provided for, and really want some enjoyment, kids done it, you know, if you ever want to do something, let me know. Anyway, that's Australia. So let me just see. I wanted to show you one last thing quickly. Oops, that was the wrong page. 1 second. I was going to show you. Yes, I wanted to show you the kangaroos, of course. The kangaroos. 1 second. Let me just get back to here. It's not easy sometimes doing all this from a big screen. The kangaroos, yeah, what about kangaroos? Okay, let's do this quickly. And I'm going to jump and show you some kangaroos. Okay, let me get out of the way again. There we go. Now you see I'm getting better at this slowly. So it was incredibly dry, and I was so close to kangaroos. So what I did there is I put some birdseed out, because kangaroos are vegetarian and they love the birdseed. I was really sitting so close. This was all filmed with my iPhone, believe it or not. I was sitting and I gave a broadcast. Some of you may remember that. But kangaroos are very interesting animals, absolutely intriguing. Just very different to what we're used to, because obviously they only exist in Australia. I sometimes wonder why, because they have no predators there. So here's another one of the kangaroos. There were 3 of them. Look at their long tails, which they use for balance. And they're very hungry, right? And they were also thirsty, and I was giving a live stream. with them. So it was really intriguing. They weren't one bit scared. Quite amazing, actually. All taken with the iPhone. And finally, so this was to Osprey Mama's request. Here, finally a selfie, which is very nice. Just take a selfie, take a selfie with kangaroos. Okay, so that was it for today. So I'm just going to put in the beautiful mandarin duck, because let's do something else. And I will just, I think that's about it for today. I think it's been hopefully not too long. And thank you so much. It was adorable, wasn't it, Dolly Queen? And so on. It was very nice. I hope you enjoyed it. And thanks for all your help and contributions. By the way, again, if you want me to send a warning email, if you want to be updated on time, that's zasaphoto@gmail.com. I will do my best to make this more frequent, because I've got a very nice studio here and I really want to make more use out of it. So I might do more spontaneous things. Thank you very much, and thanks for all the kind comments. I see them all coming in here. Karen, Osprey Mama, Laurie, Buddy, Denise, MacLady, Susan North, and so on and so on and so on. Very kind of you. You love the water drip. Yes, that was, it's not Photoshop. This is a real picture. It won a prize too. So that was the incredible moment of mandarin ducks are just incredible. So anyway, thanks to everyone, Sandy and so on. I'm just going to look quickly here on, also here on Irene. Thank you very much, Cheryl, on Facebook. So I'm first going to say goodbye to my Facebook friends. So I have to do this very carefully now so I don't mess things up. So 1 second, let me just do this. So I'm going to say good night to all my Facebook friends, and thank you so much for being with me and making this so incredible. And we will definitely continue, and I hope you enjoyed it, especially the historical documents that we had. That was absolutely incredible. If you have anything at all that you find interesting, in whatever way, send it my way, zasaphoto@gmail.com. Say, Christian, this is some interesting information. do you want to feature it, please give that to me, because I'm always looking for good material that you can enjoy. On that note, thank you to my Facebook friends, and good night. Okay, and finally, I need to do this a bit differently. I'm going to say good night to all my YouTube friends and everybody there, and thanks for being with us. And it was absolutely incredible. And I'm so loving to be here in the studio with you all and enjoying every moment of it. So I'm just going to change the perspective again, just for fun. Why not? So let's just take the, where do we have it? Sorry, not this one. No, that's the countdown timer. Sorry, that's the Gmail again. So I'm just going to give you the other, this is my studio again. And I have a laptop here, and the laptop I just read my notes, but all the live things are going in front of you, and that's why I can also look directly at you. You see I can stand up now, and I can walk around if I want to, which is very nice. And yeah, got a very nice chair even, white chair, and it's very enjoyable. You can see I'm really enjoying this. It's such a different feeling moving away from technology and making things more amenable and much closer. So I really enjoy it. So thank you for being with me, and thanks for the donations, everyone. Very much appreciated. So have a lovely weekend, and yeah, goodbye, and enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you soon. And do send something my way if you have anything of interest that you think I can show. So till next week, have a lovely week.